Speaking of showing your balls publicly, I mean, I guess I don't know of any specifics here about showing balls publicly, but we can't have a possibly better transition into this. The situation at Blizzard is
Oh, God.
not good.
It is not good.
It is not good. I know we've been gone for 2 weeks, and I know that, like, obviously this is not something that's going to blow over in 2 weeks. But in the past 2 weeks...
It just keeps getting worse and worse, like, straight up.
It's not even that it's getting, like, that much worse. It's, like, the fallout from the event is, like, actually taking place in a serious manner. J. Allen Brock left the company. I don't know how long he was at the company. I'm going to guess, like, 20 years since the inception or something like that. Maybe?
A long time, yeah.
Yeah. And he was really the face of WoW, right?
No, not really, and stuff like that. He was just like head of like Blizz and stuff like that. It's like the problem with the faces of WoW. There are a million people that were faces of WoW, just they've all like left. You know, like Jeff Kaplan.
I think I confused him with Jeff Kaplan,
stuff like that
in this scenario,
and stuff like that, and you know, multiple people that are faces. It just one after another. It just these CEOs are going down, for sexual harassment, like all this horrible stuff. Do we get into it last time about like how like heinous it got and stuff? Or
I think we did. It was 2 weeks ago, but that was like when this stuff was really dropping. So we definitely talked about it in a relatively detailed manner. There really haven't been that many like specific details like outside the initial like heinous ones that are worthy of discussion. But it's just like the fact that J. Allen Brock left. We saw that employee walkout. We're seeing a mass exodus. A Mac exodus. No one is coding on Mac anymore.
Exodus. You haven't seen it. You haven't said it right once.
No, I said mass. I said mass exodus. Okay, but anyway, yeah, there was a mass exodus by employees. Many people are leaving the company. We're seeing like
investors are suing them over like
that happens every single time though. That there's like any like
because they didn't let them know. You know, there's like the walkout. You know, like there's like the Zoom meeting where they're doubling down on like the you see the what's the woman's name? Fran Townsend, who is like getting completely shit on Twitter, who like doubling down on like, oh, this is like heinous, this doesn't exist, blah blah blah, like the Activision like part of this. Just everyone on Twitter shitting on her to the point where she had to like delete her Twitter. It's pretty,
I mean honestly, like I understand that if you are a large representative, you need Twitter in some way. Like, you can't be a CEO of a game company and not utilize Twitter in some regard. But, like, I feel like a lot of these places would be better if, like, I get it. You can't have no Twitter. That's just not an option, especially if you're in a social media role, like a head of director. But you could be inactive on Twitter. People will forgive you if you're inactive on Twitter. I feel like that's the best route at this point.
The problem with her, they call her like the torture woman because she was on Fox News like defending like Trump torture and stuff like that. So it's like all this like political stuff. She was like working in politics before she got elected to the board on Activision. But there's actually a funny thing about that. People are saying that she's just like the downfall for someone else who's just like slowly creeping away, who was like the big problem, so everyone focuses on her.
Well, and, I will say, like, torture is good for Activision, right? Because how are they going to make like storylines for Call of Duty?
Oh, God.
No, that was a terrible joke. At the same time, like playing a Call of Duty game is actually torture. I mean, as you could probably tell from my opinions on, what is this, Metro Redux 2033. I'm not a huge fan of shooters, especially Call of Duty. But on to any other subject.
No, I got more, like, on Blizzard. Like, they're losing sponsorships from their Overwatch over this, like, which isn't surprising. Overwatch and any other esports haven't been profitable. And it just, like, goes back on, like, their sexist culture and stuff like that. And there's, like, another thing about this, though, is that people are like, oh, Blizzard, they were industry-defining. They were this, they were that. But mind you, when all those games came out, this was when all that culture was happening. So these games could have been defined by that, you know, frat boy culture was the reason behind a lot of these games.
Yeah, like so looking back on even like some of the more innocent arguments, like when Overwatch came out. Do you remember like the Tracer presenting argument where it's like, ass,
and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm talking, like, even, like, before that, like, the heydays of, like, Warcraft 3, like, Diablo 2 and stuff like that. Like, you're not gonna, like, we come from the old internet. There's no, like, any game development back in the day was probably 10 times worse than anything that is reported in this right now. It's just that stuff right there weren't cell phones, there weren't recordings and everything like that.
There was 4chan, though. And I bet a lot of those developers were on 4chan.
Oh,
And like,
absolutely.
and that isn't
And this is
necessarily a death sentence, but I'm just saying, like, the actual
no.
culture surrounding it is definitely a
And this was
bro.
probably something that was industry wide as well. Like I guarantee you, like all over the industry, all over all the things, they were probably just as heinous, if not worse. It's not recorded because it's from the old internet.
Yeah, I mean, there literally was a meme back in the day that there are no girls on the internet. Like, we're talking like early
Yeah,
2000s, and like
it
that
was
was
all
definitely.
dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but like they also like they were just saying like, oh, you're a girl. That's a lie. There's no girls on the internet. It's like, oh, I guess I'm not going to
Yeah.
join this boys club that definitely exists in the gaming world specifically. But yeah, I mean, like of course this culture is pervasive at Blizzard. I mean, like you're even seeing, I think it was Ubisoft in solidarity with Blizzard had their own walkout, telling people to like look into Ubisoft's like culture and stuff like that. I mean, gaming is definitely a male-dominated space, even still, even if there has been a lot of effort for female inclusion.
Hmm.
Like Blizzard is so bad for them. I can't stress enough how bad it is. It's like tired at this point how bad it is. We keep talking about it, but it's
Yeah.
so big we can't not talk
Well,
about it.
it's just getting worse and worse. Like they're literally like forcing sexual favors on them from like executives, like people that walked out. To the point where like employees are killing themselves over it. It's absolutely horrible.
But this is like one of those like don't know your heroes too well or something like that. I feel like when we're gonna
Yeah.
go deeper into this, it's going to be a industry wide problem.
I think it's going to get worse and worse. So we're going to find these people getting worse and worse. What makes me the most upset is all like all these ex Blizzard people that quit like long time ago are like, oh, like I can't believe this happened. It was so bad. When it's like these were the motherfuckers that were all involved in it. They were like literally in the pictures of the Cosby Suite. Like they were all in that kind of shit. And it's just kind of disgusting how they're just kind of throwing like the current management to the wayside and not taking any responsibility.
Kotick is literally on the Epstein flight log. People have been putting
no. So that's two different things. What that refers to is that like anyone he's ever called in his life could be on there. So his like maid could be on there, or like if he got his pants tailored one time at some place in Pittsburgh, that's going to be like on there. So it's like that's not really anything.
It's not
like
a good look when your entire company has a massive sexual harassment scandal.
Well, it's not only that Bobby Kotick literally has his own sexual harassment scandals from like years and years and years ago anyways, so it's like you could just go that route.
But again, innocent until proven guilty. I don't think Bobby Kotick cares what I have to say. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his last name right, so that's probably not a good look anyway.
The biggest news is actually, like we said, the president of Blizzard actually like left, like straight up. Like you said, Jalen Brack left the company. He's been there for a while, and the two new people that are taking over are, one second.
Yeah, they're being listed as like co-leaders, right?
So it's Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra, which I'm actually looking forward to Mike Ybarra becoming a lead of this. He's someone they've both been in the industry forever. But the thing I noticed about Mike Ybarra is he actually plays these games at an extremely high level. I feel like most executives don't play these games nowadays. Mike Ybarra is constantly on Twitter, like posting like, oh, this is like WoW talk. He's like, oh, I have all Mythic plus 20s are done. That's like the top like 0.001% of people do this. This is fucking hard. This is like stuff I don't even have done, like he's a serious like hardcore gamer, which is that's important to me to see someone that high up that plays and understands these games like he does. And that's really cool to me. I'm really hoping to see better things out of it.
I mean, I don't think it's just cool. I think it's honestly necessary. Like you see companies like Nintendo, like Iwata was like primo gamer. He's like I'm a gamer, and then
that's why the games are good.
And then like Reggie was like, I'm gonna go play Animal Crossing on my Nintendo 3DS, right? Or was that it? I forget the game exactly. But
see, I think that's a good argument though, because he's like a casual player, and so they're making games for like casual people that he can enjoy. So it's like. But Blizzard, I think, is a little bit more hardcore in their games. So it's like it's good to have people like in the industry that actually play it. Because I feel like a lot of these companies are pretty faceless and don't have poo poo pee pee caca doo doo.
Keep going.
Poo poo pee pee caca doo doo. Pee pee poo poo doo doo caca. Pee 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 pee. Can we switch it up for a second?
Yeah, sure.
So I got a whole bunch of packages from Amazon. If you want me to open them, if you can guess what I got.
Can we actually go into something else before I do that?
Oh my God, what?
I'm just scared that like, and I know this is incredibly selfish of me. I still play Blizzard games. I still play Hearthstone. I just feel like a piece of shit while I do it. I'm just scared at this rate they're not going to have a BlizzCon. And I'm pretty much certain.
Could you imagine the shit show that BlizzCon would be, though?
That's the thing.
Oh
that's
my god.
That's the thing.
Holy
That's the thing.
Fuck. And they can't not have one because that'll look even worse.
No, but that's the thing. Well, actually, they probably have a buffer year. They have a buffer year because of COVID. They can still say mass gatherings, especially in California, are not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised, especially since
like
they
if
already
it was
announced
but like 2022, could you make like if they have to have one?
No, 2022. I think they announced they were going to have an online one like early in the year. So I think 2023 is going to be the earliest one, regardless.
Jesus Christ!
I just remember that like before there was like Diablo Immortal, and I was like, oh, they can't have it. Like, what are they going to do at BlizzCon? Man, it's going to be so bad. And then it's like the Blitzchung stuff happened. It's like, oh my god, BlizzCon's going to be so clusterfuck. And now it's like those are just tiny little microscopic specks.
It's going to be an ever living shit show. Speaking of Diablo Immortal, we just found out it got delayed to 2022, and people are like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, it's funny because I've started posting the TikToks to YouTube, and they've been gaining some traction. And like the past couple of days, I've gotten like the Diablo Immortal one got some traction before, and everyone hated it because, like I said, Diablo Immortal doesn't suck. Which A is an unpopular opinion, and B it's probably not
unpopular. It's unpopular, but it's the most informed take I've ever heard about it. Like anyone that's like not a fucking idiot this game's gonna slay and make $1 billion fucking dollars, and some people are gonna play it. And I guarantee you, every single one of these little whiny little shitholes, they're gonna download it. You absolutely like. There's no way you guys aren't gonna fucking download it.
But B, it's also probably the worst time optic wise to have like a pro Blizzard opinion. It's like, oh, I love Blizzard games. It's like, oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna downvote that opinion.
Yeah. That's probably more of it than anything.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm a little bit worried that like Blizzard itself is like not going to be a company by the time they can have a next BlizzCon. Like, they're just like, we're taking the Activision name.
I'm currently not playing any Blizzard game at all whatsoever. I'm looking forward to Diablo 2 Resurrected. I plan on playing an ever-living shit out of that. I've already pre-ordered for it, like the special mega hyper deluxe version. I'm going to play the ever-living shit out of it. Other than that, I'm not invested in the Blizzard universe. If things get better, I'm happy for them, but man, part of me just wants to see that shit burn and just watch it from afar.
People are suggesting that like Activision may try to like do a hostile take. I mean, they already did like takeover of Blizzard, basically.
Yeah, they pretty much have. Like anyone that's part of the company that has any type of innovation or like vision or creativity has just been completely ousted.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that like given how toxic the Blizzard brand is right now, they might just try to make it all Activision, make these all Activision properties. But I will say that would be gross. I think that's a little bit of a
they couldn't do it. Like,
yeah, maybe they can't legally, but I also think that'd be far-fetched.
No, it's just like they would lose all, like no one would play these games.
Yeah,
this actually goes into another subject though. I did you listen to or look into the earnings call at all for Blizzard?
I didn't, but my stock portfolio told me I should. I don't have Blizzard stock. If I was smart, I would short Blizzard stock, but.
Yeah. So basically it goes into the different parts of Activision Blizzard. There's basically the Blizzard wing. There's the King wing, which does like Candy
games?
Crush.
Never mind. Yeah.
Candy Crush and stuff like that. And then there's like the Call of Duty wing. Basically the Candy Crush, like their mobile game wing, is basically like half the company. You know, they did like 700 mil profit versus
I'm not surprised
like
about that.
The Blizzard side did like 400 mil, and then like the Call of Duty did like 600 mil. These aren't exact numbers or stuff like that, but it's basically there's a reason why all these companies go with mobile games. You just make so much money. There's less development time, less bullshit and stuff like that. To the point where they're making, quote unquote, they're making 2 different World of Warcraft or Warcraft World mobile experiences are going to be coming out. We have Diablo Immortal, and it's going to be the future, but it's super fucking scary to see like Candy Crush is what's like carrying their entire company.
Well, Candy Crush has like old people that play it. I guess Blizzard fans are
like
old
my
at this
mom
point.
still plays it.
Yeah, at this point, like you're gonna have like people addicted to WoW for like as a full time, like a career of WoW, just 40 years, 40 hours a week. That's gonna be like.
I know people that like straight up are like, I'm addicted to WoW. It just there's nothing to do in the game right now. So we're all playing Final Fantasy 14, which you should too, because it has a award-winning expansion, free up to level 60, Heaven's Word.